I don't believe that any survivor really recovered from the Holocaust. It's something that you carry within you, but some people cope better than others. For example, like my mother never got back her equilibrium, her emotional life from it. Neither did my half-sister, because she witnessed the shooting of her husband while she was holding her baby. Other people didn't speak of it. My other half-sister, I know, went through terrible things. She dealt with it by never speaking of it. And my aunt was an incredibly strong person. She never spoke about it either. She never discussed being Jewish. I mean, and that was the other thing. Being Jewish was hidden. So it was hard to tell that whether they recovered from the Holocaust. It was more like seeing how they lived their lives is what gave one an idea about how much they recovered or not recovered from the Holocaust. In 1963, when my mother and I were both working, we got vacation, and the dream was to come to visit in the United States where her sister and her aunt lived. And on a lark, I went on a TV quiz show. And it was a tic-tac-toe, and I didn't win all 5 times, which would have made us a lot of money, but I won 4 times, which was enough for 2 airfares. That's how I came first to the States. And then, as soon as I landed in Idlewild, which was JFK was called, then it felt like I came home. There was so much similarity. The air felt the same as it did in Budapest. And I was determined that we're going to move here. And we were lucky because President Johnson changed the quota system then. And because my mother had a sister here, within 10 months we got an emigration permit to the US in 1964. When we arrived at the airport to go through immigration, there was a huge "Welcome to America" sign. And people were friendly. I mean, the immigration people were friendly. People on the streets were friendly. I got a job. You know, they gave me a chance. My English was very poor, almost non-existent, but they gave me a chance. I got a job in a bank because I was good at mathematics. And then later I went to the university at night while I was working, and I learned about the Constitution and civics, and I understood some of the reasons why people were so open and so welcoming. Because that was the ideal of America. Whether America has always lived up to that ideal is a different story. But in my experience, they did. I was always welcomed. People still ask where I am from because I have an accent. But when I tell them, they say, "Oh, how interesting, how nice." They don't question that I'm an American citizen. And I love that. And I love living in Boulder for sure. So I came here as an undergraduate and never left. Seeing the world makes me want to cry. Seeing Israel and the US break with their ideals and inflict the kind of pain and death on others, and seeing all the different hatreds, just breaks my heart. Reading in the newspaper, I want to know what's going on, but reading the newspaper is really painful. Somehow, I had this silly, childish idea that the suffering of the Holocaust will teach all people not to inflict suffering on others. I imagined for the book several readerships. I imagined American Jews who really are not that familiar with what went on. I imagined the general public that has some curiosity about this. And I also imagined young people, because to them, not only the Holocaust is really abstract and far away, but so is communism. You know, we have a whole generation who was born after 1989. So I would love it if it could get into, you know, as a secondary reading in some college courses, history courses, or even high school senior courses. So it's not really planned, directed towards a narrow niche. What inspired me? Actually, I wasn't that clear on the readership until a long time, other than anyone intelligent and that cares, you know, that has the curiosity. I wanted to offer it to the American public, to my new home. But what helped me work on it for 5 years and finish it was something that I probably can't quite name. It was a clarity that I needed to do it, that this is what I needed to do, that perhaps this was one of the things that I survived for. All survivors question why they survived.